Hey, everybody. Welcome to another podcast of Amanda and John, Uncensored podcast. I hope that everybody is having a great day. I'm here with the amazing John and SLS. We do have a special guest here. Her name is Eva from Hawaii. Would you like to introduce yourself more?
Hey, hi. I'm Eva from Hawaii.
It's so good to meet you.
Do you want me to tell more about Eva from Hawaii?
Yes. No,
Sure, we're all
what
jealous.
do you do out in Hawaii? I mean, it looks amazing, beautiful there. But yeah, I would love to know, like, what is all you do out there?
So, originally I'm from Hungary, so from exactly the other side of the world. And I ended up here in Hawaii, where the funniest thing that my family name, the Pikò, in Hawaiian means the center of all energy and is the symbol of healers. And I kind of got guided here to, I was studying healing arts. And I wanted to learn it from people who traditionally have their like ancient knowledge, and like I wanted to learn it from them. And then I ended up staying here because it just feels home. So I dived deep into healing, mentally and physically healing. And the funniest thing that I met John. I went through an abusive relationship before, and I got out of it. And after that, I met John, and it was so interesting to see the bridge between self-defense and self-care, and how it works towards the same thing. They're coming out of this victim mode, and how we step up for ourselves. And the more we do, the less we need to use those self-defense things because nobody even try.
I'm honored the day that I got we became really good friends. And the gentleman she's with now, Cam, that is a true gentleman. Nothing but respect for that man. I got to hang out with him in Florida when you were there, and that's God's blessing.
Yeah, but it took me to realize of like, do the boundaries things, which actually you also teach. So I realized that what you do mentally or physically, you basically work for the same goal. And we're using the same spots. Even is just you use it for defense. I use it for healing. But there's and the only matter is like, what is my intention to use those? How I block energy, or how I make energy flow. So it's so interesting how we work for towards the same thing, but from the two extreme ends of it.
Like Reiki, or is that Reiki?
Yeah.
Oh, how wonderful!
Reiki. Since I was a kid, I had this kind of like gifts working with energy, but like Reiki is a little bit different. This one is like based on pure connection, more like the feeling of that innocent childlike curiosity, but with a raw, very powerful energy that I work with, and you usually travel on a focused intention. And you can gather information, and you can do tremendous healing with it really fast.
Great healing with no side effects.
Not just no side effects, but like it's whenever I work with like trauma, it transmutes into something that was draining you before it starts serving you. So you're using all the energy that you stored inside, based on the experiences or the people that you told you when you were a kid that like, shut up, now the adults talking, or you're not enough, or not worthy. All these energies that are pulling energy from you, it starts serving because you realize the opposite, and that I believe the lie that it's not mine, and you go with what resonates with you. And I've seen hundreds of people coming back from like not being able to have a baby to super victim to like victorious, amazing abilities, like just unlocked. It's this island is magic. It boosts everything. That if you have an ability, you come here, you face your best and worst, and you bring the best out of it. So it's
I haven't been there. I haven't been to Hawaii yet, but it definitely is on the list.
You're
My
on
kid is
the
actually
list.
part.
I have a guest
Yes,
room. You've
my
got to
kid,
come out. Like,
her family's actually
Okay.
from part of the Maui Island, and so my kid comes from
Mm.
that whole background. So, but yeah, I
So-
have not been out there. I want to though. I think it's
and I am on Maui. Maui is the best so far that I've been on the island.
So Amanda, when you find me sexually attractive, can I take you to Maui? Would that be up the door?
At
No,
least,
but
Just let me know when you land.
No, I drove down from Georgia when you guys, you and Cam were down in Florida. I won't say where, but when we got to spend a great amount of time. We went out for food. We did some training. You worked on
Yeah,
me
in
a
the
little.
parking lot. I beat your butt in the parking lot.
You beat
oh,
that.
well, that's not healing talk.
Oh, it was very healing. We
that's
were
why it's
laughing
you.
about-
No,
But-
but can I ask how long have you been doing it, and what got you interested in that? Like how long have you been doing it?
Me?
Yes, you, Eva.
Consciously, like 7 years, but I've been doing it since I was 12.
Nice.
Yeah, she's honestly, she was very good. No one else could fix my back. She laid me down in the parking lot or between two restaurants is where we had Mark Anthony's brother's pizza, and she just worked on me in the parking lot, and she's just like wham, wham. No, I mean it was wonderful. No, I did. I felt I don't do drugs. It's been 25 years, but I felt like I was stoned. She got me so relaxed mentally, body wise. I mean, nothing but respect for Miss
It was
Pikò.
a teamwork because you did that breathing that I told you to
Yeah,
do.
nothing but
It's-
respect.
it-
Go ahead.
Oh, it's like
This-
that's
the-
good. That's awesome. Like I
like
like it.
imagine when people when they have any kind of trauma and they kind of get out of their body, they are more like in their head or in their thinking, and they don't have a connection with their own body. And when I work on them, it's the funniest thing happens that when I do this slow breathing, and when it's basically my consciousness goes and connects with their body responds to my intention without them. It's like I'm more connected to their body than they are. So usually I have to I just touch a muscle and I just send in their a high vibrational frequency, which like basically either like love or comfort or like whatever it needs, and that muscle just goes like without I just point at it literally, and then I have to teach the person to come be in your body. It's safe to be in your body. It's just not gonna hurt anymore because from hurt we tend to go out of our body, and that's why we start getting ill. That's why, because we just keep all these like draining energy stuff, and then the body responds to whatever information it gets. And if we are not there consciously and not working on it, then it's gonna be like gone. That's how we can create cancer or any sort of mental or physical illness.
What was the breathing technique that you told me about and told me to do? You sent me videos, and then when I actually remember, I did a little video for you when I was at Tony Young's with Kevin Walker, and he actually does. What was that? What was that breathing? Remember you sent me the videos about the breathing, the guy, all the YouTube links.
Oh, the Wim Hof.
Yes.
He's an extreme. He's an
Yeah.
extreme. He was also working on it because of a traumatic event that he couldn't handle, and then he started to put himself out to extreme challenges, and then he realized that if he's doing a certain type of breathing, his body responds in a way that is like a miracle. Like no virus can hit him. He can swim under ice. He can run the marathon in the desert with no water. And it's like, but he went to the craziest extreme. But he also talks about the breath. The breath is the connection with your body. And in Hawaii, the aloha, like the breath of God, but breath and soul is the same in Hawaiian. And so they with the aloha, they share breath. They share their soul. The ha is also the name of God. And just imagine, like when you're laughing, like really ha ha ha. That's the purest, cleanest way, because you're nowhere else. You were just in that ha ha ha, in the highest vibration possible. That's how you heal.
No.
And And so what I taught you is also just like take a deep breath and with long exhale, it switches the nervous system into parasympathetic. So it's like basically tells your brain to calm down, everything is okay. And if you do that trick, I just recently figured it out like a year and a half ago, that even if somebody never even heard of any consciousness stuff or anything like that, but if I point, like if the shoulder hurts and I have them thinking while they take a breath, that you take a breath into your shoulder, it gathers all the tension, and when you exhale, it goes out through your palm. It literally within seconds loosens up the whole shoulder.
Yeah.
Like just try it. Like just be there with your breath where it's tense. You can point it with your finger if it's easier, but if you just imagine that, okay, I'm gonna breathe into my arm and then I exhale through my palm, it will suddenly, you will feel like it goes, there's just loosey goose. It's so awesome.
I still do the things you said for like the hip flexors and stuff like that. And Amanda is another one that believes in. Go ahead, Amanda. You explain. You look pretty.
I know, right? Because we've gotten to this conversation before. No, I am strongly on the spiritual side. More
I can tell.
more of leaning towards is just because I don't really, I mean, I believe in a God, trust me, all that, but it's just connecting wise, for me spiritually, I have always liked it because it does have to work on inner things, and kind of like what you're talking about with the trauma, things that we didn't even know were really inside. That is the reason why, you know, we feel like we can't do things. We feel we're not good enough. We feel something's wrong with us. We feel all this kind of stuff. But part of it comes down to, if not of when we were younger, being told these things, or, you know, so it kind of sticks with us as we get older. I have been on a healing journey for the last few years, and it has literally turned my life around just because of the stuff that you're talking about. Because it does. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not always fun. That's another thing I love. When people used to talk about spiritual journeys, I was like, oh, they sound so fun, because people would seem like it was. But once you're in it, all of a sudden it's like, oh, wow, this is a roller coaster.
It's also the definition is ruined for like spiritual, because a lot of people think about like people like, oh, there was a feather falling and it means like it's just like, oh, come on, like, yeah, the feather is falling and it's of the bird like up there, like, yeah, physics. But there is also quantum physics, and there is also other I call it the widening the spectrum of understanding. So start thinking about you start thinking from linear timeline to sphere. You change like triangle to pyramid, meaning that you start seeing things from different angles, not just from your point of view, because you only gather information through your experiences, and then we are basically walking pen drive, storing information through motion. And we never ever question it, because our parents are gods. And if they said that we're not enough, then we believe it, and we try to be enough for that. Like, if my mother told me that I'm shameful, that I have to work towards to prove that I am, because she told me that. And it takes a whole bunch of face planting to get there. Oh, wait a second. I love life. I love this. I'm looking for the good things. I'm enjoying things, and it's just like somehow doesn't resonate with me. And that's when you start stepping up. Like, either you go to a self-defense class to John, because it's awesome, even online, and or come to a massage where you get a certain energy that stimulates those energetic patterns and stored blocks that start flowing, and it brings up the emotion, and it doesn't matter actually which way you approach it, from through the body or through the mind. It works together no matter what. And I worked out a method, like my clients started to call it the Pikò method. But the main thing is that, first of all, I ask the muscle and don't force it, because if there is stress, I'm not going to fix it with more stress. Even if I'm like this deep, it has to feel yummy. If you're not drooling or snoring within 10 minutes, then I'm doing something wrong. And and I started to like hold the tissue and move the bone. So basically, the muscle gets massaged from the inside out. So it's not, the brain doesn't take it as a threat from the outside, because we all got those information from the outside. So we start working from the inside out and not forcing it. It's like crazy how I just helped someone 30 years limping, 2.5 hours, no more limping. And I didn't work only that area. I worked the whole body, but after 30 years, the body is still wants to find harmony and balance. And and that's what we're going for.
That's wonderful. Oh, that's wonderful. Because honestly, like when I got down there, you knew you were demonstrating stuff for me, being injured and stuff, and the work on me in person. I did it. It fixed me. I was grateful. I mean, what was it? A half hour you did between two? No, I'm just saying. But no, it is. Yeah, but I respect everything. I respect everything that you showed me, and I still do it. I actually say to people, I'm like, "Hey, asshole!" When I'm in the gym, I'm like, "This is how you're supposed to do it." The lady in Hawaii said, "You do it this way. You put your arm there and you move it to the side." I'm actually telling people, "Asshole, do it the way I'm telling you." So, but
people cannot really take something that it's easy. It's hard to bear with it, that if I messed up something for years, that it's so simple to fix it. They just can't, like, the body believes it, the mind has to be worked, that, hey, like, if you hold on to something, just let go. Just let it go.
Yeah.
And then it won't cramp. Like, that's as simple as that. It's like, well, things
like,
can be simple.
Yeah, and you do know, I don't know if you've ever seen her in the videos, that Amanda Parker model, the girl I keep hitting on through the podcast, she is a student as well. No, she does come out. And
I saw some videos. Like, I saw your butt beaten a few times by her. So, Amanda.
Yeah.
You're a good teacher, though. You're very patient. I really like it that you're very patient and you're very gentle with how to defeat people. Like, it's just like awesome. The paradox itself. I love it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate. No, I do. I appreciate the kind words, because that means a lot to me. Just like that.
It's important. It's important. You're not violent. I've met fighters and I've met martial art people, and most of them, when they are actually really into it, they're never violent. Yeah. But you have the patience. You have you're giving so much comfort by just being that patient and kind, that even the scariest person start like developing that, okay, I can try it and it's not a problem if I fail, and it's okay. Like, you keep that space for people. It's so freaking important. And I really appreciate it.
No, I honestly, I do. And you two, Amanda and you, started the same way. You both started on video calls, and we got like, we and then when we meet in person, you've already hit the ground running. And no, but honestly, Amanda, I do want this on a short, the clip, everything she just said nice about me. Yes. No, but what I'm saying, no. But what I'm saying is,
yeah, but I mean it. Like, I think Amanda can agree with it.
Yeah, but no, but I put you guys in touch because you I don't ever talk about, as you know, I don't talk about other students, but you two, with the positive energy, the spiritual, and being, you guys both have beautiful hearts, and that's respectful to me.
Aww.
So that's why I've been. That's why I wanted you out of, because Amanda, I bust her chops a lot, but she's a little badass. So are you. But you're also the nicest lady, and both of you are the nicest people, gentle people. Hell, you worked on me. You didn't have to, between two buildings, and you fixed me. So, and Amanda fixes me up here. She's like my boss.
Yeah.
I do have a question. Like, so what else do you like doing, like in Hawaii while you're there?
Oh, I love connecting with the ocean. And it was the first time I've been all around the world. I've checked out a bunch of sea and ocean sites and stuff, but Maui was the first time that I kind of felt like, oh, it's not just you just go in. You need to introduce yourself here. And I literally, like an idiot, went to the beach, standing to the knee in the water, and I'm kind of introducing myself and like, I mean, like to the big blue. And I did it for a month. And then after a month, I suddenly felt like you're welcome. To the point where I ocean thoughted version of me in the beginning, I was swimming at a part that a riptide caught me, which can take you to China quite easily and fast.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just start swimming, and everybody's like, "Don't swim there! Don't swim to the rocks and blah blah." And I just felt a feeling that go this way, and I ended up being put down on a rock like really nicely. There were like a whole bunch of people gathered by them, and one just like catching me, like nobody came in there. Catching me, not a scratch. It's like, and so from that moment when I felt that welcome, I knew that like nothing will hurt me there. It's just you have this connection with. Whenever I was stressed, I went there and I just like stand in the water and I can feel stress just being pulled out. It's I love doing that. When I go snorkeling, like these turtles are keep coming up to me. One of the Hawaiian men calls me the turtle magnet. I said like they don't come up to people to hang out, like, and I have like videos of that, and also the people here are really awesome. The knowledge, the freedom, it's still a lot to discover.
Ah, you're making it where I want to move out there.
Oh yeah, especially I mean if you haven't been here and then you come back and then you reconnect with your roots, I'm not sure that you ever want to leave. It's like serious.
And honestly, I'll be honest with you. I'm supposed to come out there for an event if the event's still happening. Like I messaged you about.
Are you gonna fly?
I'm sorry.
Are you flying?
I ain't gonna swim.
Well, you just said before.
You said
before you don't like airplanes, so I'm just wondering. I mean, there's the boat option.
I'm just messing with you. No. I used to fly all the time. I did. I'm just busting your chops. As I used to fly all the time, but then all of a sudden, for some reason, I'm the guy that's like, "Excuse me, sir, can we see you over here?" Next thing you know, I'm getting patted down. I'm always that guy. Just it gets kind of like
me too. And then you say, "Oh, that feels good."
Right, I was about to say you're talking me into it. So
no, but
and it's like,
go ahead.
Next time they do that, next time they do that, John, just do it. Just be embarrassed. You just like embarrass them by be like, "Are you profiling me?" And then just start running like a bunch of different things to make them feel uncomfortable.
I can't say. I can't actually say what I said to the last time is because we don't talk politics and shit. But I was livid. I was like, I don't want to say it, but when I was, people on the plane are looking at me like, I was like, man, but what? That's
hey,
like
you probably weren't as bad as that one chick. Remember where she was on there and she was like, "That motherfucker back there is not real."
yeah,
but
it's not a human.
But can I ask you? Can I ask you a serious question? Like, if say us three came out to you, SLS, Amanda, and we came out, are we allowed to ask what would your, like, if we came out the first night, and what would you do to take us to like something traditional, like what would you do, like where would you take us the first time? Was there a restaurant? Is there a site to see? What would you want us to see before we left? Like what would be the first thing you would want to show us, like out there?
Definitely some ocean
wow.
sites, like go underwater, like totally go underwater.
No,
and waterfall.
No, I'm just asking you because a lot of people have been there.
There is a place actually. It's like it's a creek that people take. When you drive into that valley, you basically can feel when the energy changes. Like you literally can feel it. And like some people that I took there, I never tell them about it. So now you're like, I've spoiled it. But they start crying and they just get so It's just like it's a very cleansing energy that is there. So people take their crystals or go there to let go of like negative stuff. They just lay in this creek. There are like little ponds in it, and then you lay down where the water is just flowing from your head towards your feet, and then you just think of the things that are tension or you want to let go, and it literally feels like liquid gold goes through you. I'm a chicken. I cannot stand cold, and I can feel that it's cold, but it doesn't feel cold. It's just like the weirdest thing ever. That and it's just so different. It's just something that I think everybody supposed to experience. Is just to be there. Like there are like 4 places that I would take you that is just like gives you the just that
No, I'm
like
curious. And Amanda, I actually take it back, busting your chops, because you've got me thinking this whole time. I could take a cruise ship there.
you could.
Yeah.
You
But
totally
I think
could.
it's like you could drive through to like, what is it? Like,
I'd rather deal with TSA than cruise ships.
oh, I know, right? Same here. Like, but
No, I
a
mean,
cruise ship too, it could take you like a week to get there probably.
well,
A lot of seasickness.
Hey, but you might be able to do the podcast and stuff from the ship.
no, honestly, I would just when I actually have to go somewhere and if I have to fly, it doesn't bother me. But I'm not just getting on a plane just to like hop, skip, and a jump, because and like, honestly, I got stuck. I was supposed to. Just long story short, I've missed so much important shit because all of a sudden the weather's bad, or the weather's bad, or they've
Break the curse. Break the curse.
Yeah,
Hey,
but
and you have to watch for certain airports. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like as long as you don't have a crossover in Dallas, man, I think that is good. Whenever I get landed over in Dallas, I don't know, Texas in general, it seems to be waiting anywhere from 2 to 8 hours likes to be my layover. So I'm like, as long as I avoid Texas when I have to do a layover, it seems I don't have to be waiting around. They have every problem there.
This is the goat.
What's that?
This is the goat that adopted us. It's not purring. It's doing the goat sounds, and it just showed up. Meh.
Hey, sweetie.
Hello, goat.
No, this is.
I wanted.
And back to that, Texas does have the airport thing, but yeah, that's how I missed my LA when I was supposed to be in Beverly Hills for something recently. But whatever. But can I ask you? Because you know I love to cook. That's my favorite thing in the world. What is a traditional? Okay, what's a traditional meal? We all have different. Amanda eats a certain type of way. I eat, like Ernest says, like a pregnant raccoon. I don't care. What exactly? I don't care. What would you recommend? Like if us three, Amanda and John Uncensored with SLS, showed up, like the Bundys, we're here. Where would you take us if we said we're hungry?
I would cook for you awesome Hungarian food, because I don't think that there is any Hawaiian traditional. It's like food. Like you like lobster, you like fish. They don't really over season anything. There is no, like there's a lot of like Japanese food here, or like a lot of Philippine people here. So like you can basically get that kind of, or Mexican food. There's no like typical Hawaiian, really.
Like what about
some of the Philippine food though? That stuff is good. I'm not gonna lie. I like some of the Philippine food. I just had some when I was in Vegas.
I love it. I love it.
SLS? What would you want to do if we were invited?
Well, actually, I've been to Hawaii.
What would you like to do? Oh, where did you?
We went to Honda Ranch in Kona. I've done the luau. I've danced the hukilau too, in the lava lava and all that. But still, it's a wonder. I think you live in America's paradise. But actually, my question was a little more serious. I noticed you said earlier, I had a couple of traumatic events growing up. And I do think what you said was dead spot on. You pointed out how trauma does block our thinking and does actually make us sabotage everything we're doing.
Actually, if you're up for it, we can take a look at it.
Right.
I'm actually planning to work with people because a lot of people has amazing abilities when they start stepping into it and when they discover themselves. And a lot of people, like, I keep hearing from people that, oh, I cannot talk about it with anybody. And
I
and
overshare.
it's like sometimes we don't see, we chase the wrong answer. We don't have the right question with traumas.
Right.
And I've been working with people who had, like, for example, addiction, like drug use and stuff, and they wanted to get out of it. And first of all, with the AA meetings, I have a big problem that they always have to say that I'm a recovering one, or I am an alcoholic, or I am a this and that. So like they are kind of forced into keep themselves in a low vibrational thing. It's not like, yeah, something caused this and I'm working on it, work it out. I'm transforming something. That there was this lady, and when she was 3 years old, and it was in her subconscious, when she was 3 years old, her daddy was tickling her.
Yeah.
And it was too much for her, but because she was giggling, she couldn't really come through that it's too much. So it was hurting her, and the daddy didn't, when she said stop, daddy didn't stop. And in
how
that
awful.
moment, she lost the trust in the protector, in man, and in that she can control her life at
So
3
the
years
core
old.
is
And
gone.
that was the core. But you cannot see it when I have psychologist clients as well, like a lead doctor in Sweden in a mental hospital. He's a client of mine, and learning about these things, because when I connect with energy, I get these pattern or energetic formulas that are showing me things differently. So a lot of times I don't even understand first what it means, and then it always comes out depending on the person. So it's like really interesting, but I had to put my trust in it, and had to, because it helped tremendously for so many people. And so the root cause a whole bunch of times is just a little trivial thing that you never get back to. And we were talking with the psychologist that, yeah, they can go back to just a certain part, and then they just talk about why it happened if they find it, but they never pull out the weed and put a flower in there instead. And that's what I like to do.
Right.
Like,
And
because
at
it's
the
just,
end,
yeah. And it can happen within an hour, within 40 minutes. It's like a whole life. It's the operating system that has to be changed on something, because if I'm still in the fear-based operating system, it doesn't matter how much I meditate, it doesn't matter how much whatever ceremonies I do, I can only get to the best version of me in that operating system. So the whole operating system has to be switched to be compatible with what I resonate with, to be compatible with me, to find my own principles and characteristics that I can build on, my own seed essence. And so that's what we go and hunt down first with everyone. And then we travel into the subconscious, because then you can see things from your soul perspective and not from the human perspective, because the human mind cannot it's based on logic and confrontation, because it's the two sides are always in conflict. So we come out from the brain, we go into the heart, we find what is in the heart, and then the heart is the boss, and the mind follows, and make a balance and a harmony between the body and the mind and the soul. And it's like amazing. It's like, now I can say thousands of people that I've seen how much they changed their life with it. And it's simple. It's not something, it's not woo-woo. It's just like the way you look for it, the way you give your question. Is it the right question? You question your question sometimes. Do I even need to take a question, or is it just okay? Like, yeah, I messed up this way and it's okay. And it's gone. It's just, when I was afraid of something, and I didn't want to say, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid. The affirmations are just, to me, is like proving that of a lack of something. So I was like, okay, if I'm afraid of not being able to stand on my feet here alone in Hawaii after my crazy relationship ended, I was like, what do I do? So if I cannot change the feeling, the fear, but I can change what I'm afraid of. So I started to be afraid of, like, that I have so many clients that I cannot freaking put in the calendar. So I find a new subject, and the part of it. That I have so many clients that I cannot put on the calendar. There is not enough hours on a day. And that worked. Within 3 days, from out of blue, I just started to get calls. And then the fear went away. Because so it's like, I don't take no for an answer. That's for sure. But if it doesn't work this way, then I go the other way. And I know I'm not stopping until I resonate with it.
Yeah, I like what you just said there, because I hate that when people say you shouldn't have a plan B. That's bullshit. If something's not working, you go to the next one. Like, it just, I hate that when people say
it kind of depends though. It kind of depends, because they say, like, for example, when you are completing your, like, when you have goals and things like that, it's one of those, they're like that you want to have your full mind into that. If you have a plan B, then that means that you're it's not so much that you're already kind of accepting the fact that it's gonna fail and that you're not putting 100% into something. So it kind of goes depending on the topic and stuff like that, because, for example, like with my careers and stuff, there is no plan B. If there's a plan B, that means that I'm not fully committed in that stuff.
Yeah.
No,
you already give up on it.
I agree with you. I agree with you like that, but sometimes to get to the goal, you always keep the goal. But if something's not working, like Eva said, you reroute, right?
Oh yeah, next solution. Like, there's always a solution, even if people don't like. Even if people don't like it, sometimes there's a solution for everything.
You always feel it from your guts, because sometimes you realize that thing didn't happen because it's not yours. That's why you need to go into your center first and build from there, because then there won't be a question. There is no doubt if it resonates with you or not. Then there is no. I do horse archery, and the horse archer doesn't aim with the eye. It doesn't use the brain. You have to feel it, because everything is moving. The horse is moving, you're moving, the target moving, and it can be totally applied into daily life. That when I have a goal or a desire, first of all, I ask, is it really mine, or is my mother's, my father's, or like, is it mine? And when I feel it in my heart, you just imagine that the arrow is already in the target, and you pull it out like on a rubber band, and then you load it into your bow. And then when you release it, it can only pull you there. You basically connect it with your heart.
Yeah.
And it can only take you there, like no doubt.
Yeah. No,
this person that I'm training with is never is missing a target. Never.
No, and I agree with that. I agree with that, because they know the goals, but sometimes, but like I said, my goal, I know what I want, I know what I want, I know what I want to do. But sometimes I have to step back and reroute just a little bit. But at the end, I will get to the goal.
Yeah, you get there.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying if it's not working out, just quit and say, screw that. No, I'm not. That's lazy.
Sometimes you need some more information.
Yes.
That is like, there is some kind of timing that when you gather more information, then there will be, like, you realize that you can just jump through. You don't have to climb. So sometimes we gather more information, and so we can make a different decision that takes us there easier or faster, or we just
If you want it, you'll get it. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter how long. But sometimes, like shit, things happen. That's it.
You need to know if you really need that. If you know that from your heart that thing that you're going for, that's for you, because that's a question a bunch of times, because we tend to, because of these little programs that we were put in, and we want to prove something. Sometimes we do things from the wrong motivation. We help people sometimes because we don't want to see when others go through the same shit, so we want to help them. And when we want to force ourselves with helping them, it energetically, it's like you're going with knives, because they didn't ask for it.
And pain will force us to reevaluate what we want, even though we cannot automatically do that.
Yeah, as long as they don't ask, I cannot help. I have to stop myself, because it's I think that I want to help because I already went through it and I have all the answers. But what happens really is, I don't want you to remind me of my shit. That is what subconsciously is going on.
You have clients who will refuse to acknowledge their pain.
Yeah, and actually, like the definition of pain changes because it's only just a perception, pain, and being like when we believe that we are not able to do things. Pain is a sign that we are off of the road. It can go away like right away when you take a look at it from a different perspective. It goes away. It just the good thing is that when you work with these, you just realize that something changed because you don't respond the same way that you used to. So it's not like that you train yourself to handle shit. It's basically, oh, a week ago I would freak out of this and now it didn't even touch me because you transform those buttons. It's not getting pressed ever again. You do it once, it's gone.
Well, no, and I like that because this is you're our sixth person, and like I don't know if you know the story. I don't think I told you. Is me and Amanda started this whole podcast as we were joking about on the phone, and then I'm always talking to SLS there. Me and him get along. I trust him, and I trust her, and I made it as a joke, like, hey, let's do a podcast. And Amanda Parker Model Experience / actor stunt woman, she said, let's do a podcast. I ran it through SLS, and then SLS was our first guest, and we got along so great. We actually started the podcast. So I know what you're saying.
And I love it. I love it.
Yeah, do what you want. Yeah, just if you want it, you'll get. If you really want it, it's not going to be work.
Yeah. And it's so important to talk about these things that it's okay to talk about these things. Like everybody tries to hide their feelings, and at the end of the day, everybody's talking about it to strangers or to like write in journal about it. Like, why not figure out stuff? Like, if I know something, yeah, I went through shit, you went through shit, and just show different angles of an issue to each other. It helps globally. It doesn't mean that the same thing will work for you. I don't have like a method that okay, everybody has to follow this. I always go with that person. I always go with the person because everybody has a key to how their system works. I can only go with that. I cannot force any other thing on them.
Thank you. And you just said the magic words is like everybody sees like different people in videos doing martial arts or whatever. And they always say everybody's doing something different. But like as you just said, I go with the person and what's best for them right now.
For them.
Now, if you're in a classroom.
I'm looking for my earbud.
Now, if you're in a classroom, yes, you have to stick to the curriculum or whatever, the bullet points, but you go with what's best for the person.
Yeah, there is no bad student, there is only bad teacher.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh.
I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this a lot. This is like almost like
I've been teaching horse riding for medical students back in Hungary, like super stressed, and some of them has never even seen a horse. And I don't think that I explained how to connect with the horse the same way twice. And there's this girl that like couldn't get the rhythm of the trot, that they have to stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down. And then I saw in her movement that something is a little off. So I had her walk with the horse standing up, and when it starts trotting, start with sit down, stand up. So just switch. Where is the one? For her, the one was like sit down, stand up, and then she caught the rhythm like right away. So I have to go. I have to read it. I have to find the key and give it to them, and then they unlock. So that's what I can do to have the key, and there is a door, but you got to go through that door. I can come with you, but you're gonna make the step. I'll be behind you. I'll be there.
Oh, I enjoy this. I do. It's a lot of good stuff, and I thank you. Honestly, I really thank you for taking the time because I know it's early by you. This was very interesting. I enjoyed it.
This is really important, and thank you so much that I can talk about it because there's not much forum that I can talk about it if I'm not like Wes is crazy or famous is crazy, and there are things that people I believe need to know because it can make their life easier. It can make their relationship thriving instead of breaking. So it's even with themselves or with others.
Agree.
Go ahead, Amanda.
Oh no, I was just saying I agree. And no, I do appreciate you coming on, and it's great to have a face your name because I have heard a lot about you. So I'm glad that you came
Well,
on.
all
And
about you too. So
out.
very nice to meet you. I really hope that you guys bring your butts out here and we can get Sandy,
Yes.
all of you.
Would you like to leave us with tips for self-healing? I believe in crystal healing. I believe in spellbound crystal healing and meditation. But anything else that we could do to help us go forward?
It's specific in a way that you actually had crystal healing. You were working with crystals before, in a different lifetime. I don't know if how will I sound. Anyways, you know the crystals that it can be programmed, and you use the information to resonate with it, and then you can heal the body with it. It's the main thing is if when you do a meditation, make sure that you go into your heart. You first ask your heart, and the body always gives you a response when you work with something. When you have disturbing feelings, you need to go in there and you need to work with that. Other than this podcast, seriously connect with me, and I'll teach you how to find your own way to connect with the disturbing feeling. You need to work with that, and then when it's changed, the body always gives another response when it's done, meaning that you either feel like butterflies or like warmth or tingly or
Yes.
you feel like way lighter, and
Or
then
portals,
you
so
always go
yeah.
back to the first. You always go back to the first experience. You look for that disturbing thing or whatever it caused it, and if it's like just a movie, or it's hard to find it, or it doesn't start, you don't feel it, that's when you're done. So I always like go back and check, because if there is even a slight one, I got to work with that. And from that moment, you will start getting intuitively what is going to work for you. It will always resonate with you. So the only thing is that you give the question, does it resonate with me really or not? Yes, no. That's it. The more you go, the more you start like thinking about it, then you're back in your head, and it's never going to help. It's the heart has only that one feeling, and if you check in with that, then you will always know. And sometimes it's going to be hard, and it will be yes. It will be yes, it resonates with me, and it's challenging, but I'm going to do it.
Namaste.
And no matter the outcome or the circumstances, if I feel this, I have to keep space for it. I have to go with that no matter what, because that's how things around can collapse and the new can come in. We have to keep the space for ourselves. Just like John says, keep the space.
Now, is there, Amanda, do you have any questions before we sign off?
No.
Okay. Eva, is there any special hidden talents that you have? We've had someone sing a song. We've had the wonderful Jovelyn do a dance for us with a stick. Is there anything that you, even if it's a joke, is there anything that you just want to leave everybody with? Okay,
you can pick. I can take my bow and arrow, but then my phone will look funky. Or
this is awesome.
Or I don't know if it's tuned, but I check.
Oh wow.
This is ukulele.
A ukulele. Yeah.
Bit off too, but.
Huh.
Look at her go.
Huh.
Yeah. This is I love this thing. I go play in the sunset sometimes, and it's just like play to the ocean, and it feels like I'm not it's just like not alone. There is a crowd of awesomeness around.
That's awesome.
I love that here your purse is a snorkel stuff is included in your purse, and or an ukulele, and that it's an event that, okay, where do you go see the sunset tonight? It's an event here.
Nice.
So it's like every day. We froze.
Yes.
Well, we want to say thank you very much from me. I don't know about them. I'm just saying thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I honestly, I wish you and Cam have a wonderful day ahead of you, because I know it's early by you, and it's, a lot earlier than over here. But thank you very much for taking the time out, and we hope to have you back on one of these days soon. When just
Yeah, we should do some footage like beating your butt with Amanda on the beach.
yeah. Well, thank you very much though for coming on, Amanda. And unless you guys have anything.
Oh,
So
Many
good to
blessings.
meet you guys.
What's that?
Awesome. Happy
All right.
story.
yeah.
Thank you very much. You guys,
Have
all
fun.
stay blessed.
Have a magical day.
Bye.
See ya.